So I'm not one for videos, but I saw that there was like a void when I went to look up the removal of the O2 sensor. Some people would call it the Upstream or pre-cat O2. This is for this particular van is 03 Dodge Grand Caravan with a 3.3 liter engine. I basically have the O2 out sitting there on top of the fuse box tray, but I'm just going to go through a quick explanation of how I remove the components to get down to the O2, since if you just pop the hood, it looks hard to get to. Basically, I started with the two wiper arms. I removed the nuts off them, pried the arms off. Once the arms were off, I removed the plastic cover that covers your wiper motor assembly. That piece is right here. There's a couple Torx screws that hold that piece on. And then what you're looking at here is the wiper motor assembly that was, don't let that intimidate you. It didn't look, it looks harder than it is. It was fairly easy to remove. It's essentially a couple 10 mil bolts, or nuts, sorry, that sit on these studs just below the windshield. My finger there, there's 1, 2, 3, and 4. And 4 13 millimeter bolts, which are 1, 2, and then the other 2 are above the upper strut assembly. So once you pop that off, access to the O2 sensor was fairly easy. What I did in my case was I have a socket for removing an O2 sensor, but since I wasn't going to be using this anymore, I just cut the wire off and slid a 22 millimeter socket down there with a universal and an extension, and I just with very little resistance, I popped this 10-year-old sensor out. I'm not sure if it was the original sensor or not. I'm not the original owner, but it came out fairly easy. I'm not sure if it was the copper anti-seize that they used originally, but it was very, very easy. Geez, I hope I never have to take these out because they're like a rusty old barnacle. But like I said, it was fairly easy to remove the O2 sensor. I had a little bit of an issue taking the connector apart, but I sprayed some penetrant there, and that connector, you can see the yellow end is where I unplugged it. It sits on that bracket next to the other connector for the post-cat O2 sensor. So pretty easy to take out for me anyways. Lots of room to move around. Reassembly would be easy, as follows. Just thread in your new O2 sensor with the copper anti-seize. Reconnect the sensor. I'm gonna put it back on that bracket best I can, so that the wire never hits anything hot down here. That's probably what happened to the original one. But plug it back in. Put on my wiper motor assembly. Reattach that plastic sort of cowling cover, and then close the hood and put back on my wiper arm assemblies, wiper arms. I hope this filled in the gaps of what's missing on YouTube. Fairly easy, like I said, install. Feel free to comment.